said, he who possesses Shanxi province possesses the world. Where is Shanxi province? Well, it's up in northeast China and Manchuria. And it was then the richest piece of territory on earth. It had iron, it had coal. It was very, very rich for the kind of technology that they needed then. The Japanese had their eye on it. The United States had their eye on it. Germany was even beginning to come and, slither around in the neighborhood. So that is empire. We're now launched as a military power. We had promised the Filipinos that we would liberate them from Spain and they could organize their own government. Once we saw the value of the possession of the Philippines, we went back on it and we refused to remove ourselves, and we took over the government of the Philippines. That caused a civil war in which something like 100,000 Filipinos were killed, men, women, and children. We went slaughtering. Not long after, a Major General in charge of the Marine Corps called Smedley Butler wrote a book. And he was commandant during the early part of the century, 1920s up to the 1930s. And he said, I was essentially an enforcer for the banks as commander of the Marine Corps. He said, I was making Nicaragua safe for Standard Oil. I was making Shanghai, we invaded Shanghai, safe for City National Bank, or whatever the bank was called then. And he named all of the great entities, commercial entities that he was working for, even though he was the United States government. And he said, I was the hitman. I was the enforcer for these banks and these corporations. He said, I operated in 3 continents. Al Capone only had 3 Chicago districts. This is not in the history books, and that's why I write these books, to remind people through a form of a novel what was actually said and done, and what has been suppressed.